I remember several years ago when a good friend of mine and we were both getting our landscaping businesses off the ground at the same exact time. And he told me this story of how he had gone to the ATM that day to get out like a couple $100 or something. And the person before him had forgotten their ATM receipt. It was just hanging out of the ATM, flapping in the wind. And he took it and he looked at it and he said it had like $19,900 and something in the checking account, 20 grand. And he called me up and he sent me, I don't know if he sent me a picture of it or something, and he said, wow, like, some people actually have 20 grand in the bank. And what he was saying was, he didn't have 20 grand in the bank, neither did I. We were lucky to have a couple grand in the bank, right? We were trying to get this thing off the ground. We were struggling bad, dude. Hustling, doing anything for a nickel. And when he said that to me, I was right there with him. I'm on the phone and I'm like, dude, wow, 20 grand is so far away. And he was actually discouraged because it seemed so far away. The feeling in his voice, man, was like, that person's life must be gravy. That person's life must be gravy. And I'll never forget that day. And so I want to talk about a couple things. Getting a small business off the ground, if you've never had a small business before, is the most exciting experience ever. Because the breakthroughs that you have, the breakdowns, the fears, the terrors, the not knowing, the feeling alone, the frustrations, having to deal with your family thinking there's something wrong with you and you're crazy because you're like a dog on a bone. I got that saying from my buddy Brian Fullerton. Yeah, he said a dog on a bone, and I started laughing because you're like a dog on a bone. Like, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. Your emotions are all over the place. You're working yourself to burnout because there's so many mistakes and so many lessons that you just don't know and you haven't gone through yet. So just the smallest things, to the guy who has 20, 30, 40, 50 grand in the bank, or a six-figure plus business, right? Who would look at those challenges you might be going through, like, of course, like, that's, why would you even have those issues, right? But to you, this is all new. I mean, I think having your own small business is like, it's like $100,000 college degree in the real world. You get a PhD in the hustle, right? And that's what a small business owner is. You're literally a licensed, insured hustler, an ethical, moral, customer-loving, client-serving, heart of service, working your ass off to the bone hustler. And having a service business in the service industry, I mean, dude, no lie, it's a blue-collar lifestyle. You look at even like husband-wife teams or family businesses that can do very well, right? Very well. Don't be mistaken. Some of these guys that you see on social media, and that brings me to my second point. The first point is getting a business off the ground is really hard. I'll talk about that more. But my second point, this is my night video here. My second point is that some of these guys you see on social media and on Facebook and YouTube that, their fingers are dirty and they're out, whatever, they're landscaping, they're cutting down trees. I don't know what they're doing. They're putting patios in. Some of these guys are making some serious loot. Some of these guys are making more money than people who have college degrees, who have cushy six-figure jobs. When they've been in the business for a while and they've been around the block and they really define their niche, some people are making really good money, but some people are full of crap and they're pulling a wool over your eyes. And they're acting like they have more than they have. But if you really, like, laid it all out on the table, they're just showing you a highlight reel. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because if you're trying to get your small business off the ground or to the next level, which is like the phase one small business owner, right? That's the nightmare. It's hell. Now, getting your business to stage 2 is that's where you've got a sustainable business, you've got minimum viable systems, things actually working. You're not freaking out of whether or not you're going to get work or not. Like, how do you get work? How do you market your business? How do you keep the business? How do you make this thing work, right? Whoa, one of my neighbors is really loud. So that's stage 2. That's what, a few years after you kind of get it figured out, right? But stage 1, this thing is hell. Stage 2 is like heaven to stage 1. Like, you want to get to the point where you get this thing figured out. So then one of the most critically, one of the most destructive things that you can do to yourself is go on social media and look at other small business owners who, A, might have it figured out, and they're authentic about it, or B, small business owners who are showing you a highlight reel, only showing you the good stuff and making you feel like, how does that guy do that? How does that guy do that? That's absolutely impossible for me. And you can watch some of these people's videos or their pictures or anything, and then you're done looking at their Instagram and you're like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm never going to be successful. How is this guy doing this? I'm an idiot. Like, you can become self-destructive. I've done this before in the past. I remember, I don't know, a few times in the past, like, you're trying your hardest and you just can't break through and things are just tough for you. And then you see someone else who's like, I'm the shit dog, I got it. Dude, okay, I could make a video or Instagram post only showing the highlights, right? Now, people who are really successful, they can just look right through all that shit and they can see the truth. You can't fool people who have been, entrepreneurs for years and years. They can see right through all fluff, right? But people who aren't, that are still coming up in the game, maybe like you might not be able to have the discernment to see, and you might buy into that shit. Say, well, he's showing me the proof. He must have tens of thousands of dollars, or all this shit. Listen. Yeah, so just to keep it simple, you really got to run your own race and find your own unique thing. And if you look to someone else for inspiration and you can learn from that person in an authentic way, that's really, really good when you stay positive. But if at any time, I think if anything's making you feel negative or downing yourself, dude, you're better off just shutting it off or unfollowing that person and really patting yourself on the back for doing your own unique thing, getting your own small business off the ground. People underestimate what they can do, in 6 months, right? You overestimate what you can do in 6 months, but you underestimate what you can do in 4 or 5 years. I mean, where you can actually be a few years from now is a very beautiful place that you've always dreamed of. Like, it can totally happen for you. And once you start opening up doors and taking little risks and chances and taking things on, whole new opportunities can open up to you that you never even knew were possible, right? And, excuse me, there will be those days where, you finish some type of project and you get that final check, or you get that stack of checks in the mail, or maybe a customer pays you, like, I don't know, let's see, 20 grand in cash. I don't know what it is for you, and you just spread it all out on the mattress. You go home and you're like, what up, Dow? What up, Dow? You got this. Look at my little cat. My cat. Oh, he followed me outside. We rescued this cat. I love my cats. Okay, so that's my night video. I just want to encourage you. This is your time to shine. This is your time to crush it. This is your time to get it. When I started my small business, I had an eviction notice on the door. I was so broke, and I had no driver's license either. So I had like this restricted driver's license. PLPD, the cheapest insurance, cost me $1,150 a month. Plus I had to carry a high risk insurance because I had points and shit on my license. So it was another $250 a month, right? I had to have my piece of crap $600 rusted out truck, my fingers crossed it wouldn't break down, in my wife's name, and have the insurance in her name, and give her the money every month so she could pay for my car insurance. That's how broke we were. And dude, I felt like a piece of crap. We would go to her family's house on family events. I don't care, dude. I love that truck, dude. I felt like I was balling. I had my own little landscape business, but I started comparing myself to where I thought I should be at that time. And you know, it's funny, the worst thing is sometimes when we judge ourselves and we beat ourselves up and not give ourselves credit, right? And now the tables have totally turned to where, you know, I'm the provider and I'm the breadwinner, and I make sure all the bills are paid and the food is in the fridge and all the things, and it's kind of a traditional marriage we have. Like, I'm so blessed. My wife like cooks and cleans and folds all the laundry and puts all that stuff away, and I'm like, this is amazing. I'm going off track here, but sometimes we'll get in an argument and she'll be like, I fucking do all your laundry. I'm like, well, don't do it anymore. I'll just get extra hampers. Because when I was a bachelor, I had like 4 hampers. I had clean work clothes, dirty work clothes. So when my work clothes were dirty, I'd throw them in the laundry, out of the dryer, into a hamper in a pile. And then when I needed clothes, I just went into the pile and I just put them on. I didn't even, if I put them in the drawers, I would just stuff them in there. I didn't have time to fold no clothes. And then I had my clean whites and dirty whites. So all my dresser was just a big bin. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff, right? So I'm like, just don't touch my laundry then. I'll do it myself. She says, no, I'll do it because you don't know how to do it. Anyways, I digress. So the last thing I want to say, I think that when you go through the dark night of the soul, really, really, really hard, terrifying times in life where you feel like you're not going to get out, and by the grace of God, by the skin of your teeth, you make it through and you pull through by just working your guts out. It instills this fear inside you, this healthy fear that says like, oh my God, I don't ever want to go back to this horrifying place ever again. I work as hard as I have to, day in, day out. I don't care what it takes, until just so I know that we don't ever have to go to this, back to this again, right? Now, the thing is, some things in life you don't have any control over, right? Some things are beyond your control. You might have to go back to it again, but you have this resolution inside of yourself that you will never let that happen again. But a very important thing to pay attention is being in survival mode isn't healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually. It can cause traumatic, damaging effects to you, where you can become a neurotic person, where you're always on edge. Do you know anybody who's like always neurotic and stressed out because they kind of had a hard life and they just can't let it go and they're always afraid, you know? So I think really getting into personal development, listening to audiobooks and stuff like David R. Hawkins' Power versus Force, the book Letting Go, books by Dr. Wayne Dyer, spiritual books, listening to things that really help you reset the neurons in your brain, reset your emotions, let go of old baggage, clean up your chakras, line yourself up, get close to God. Anything you got to do to develop that sense of inner peace and know that the past is the past and you've gone through that and you've earned your stars and your stripes and your badges. You got to put on your war paint right now and go out and do this thing, but after you accomplish it, then it becomes a stepping stone to a new stage in life. You've passed that, you're in the new chapter. And to not hold on to those fears, because the very same things that you had to use as energy and fuel just to get yourself out of hell, to get yourself into from stage 1 to stage 2, let's say stage 1 business, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, doing it all by yourself, stressed out, having a panic attack meltdown every day, trying to keep your composure together, to stage 2 business where things are smooth and everything's working and you have minimum viable systems. The neurotic, crazy you who's keeping everything together then, that state of consciousness, the very same things that helped you then are the very same things will hurt you here. So you have to learn how to prune. Take a breath, prune, look at the numbers. If it's an emotional thing for you, It could be systems, it could be whatever it is, to let go, because this shit will be like, it'll be a lead weight on you. This is different stages of consciousness, like what worked here won't work there, what got you here won't get you there. If you're riding a mountain bike, right, and you're pedaling your ass off in first gear and you're getting nowhere, you don't even know second gear exists, you're looking for second gear, where's second gear? And then one day you find it. Right, this is called stable datums. I talk about this on my channel, I Am Ability, my other YouTube channel. A stable datum. I won't get to it. The neurons in your brain create synapses. Synapses that fire together, wire together. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. You find stage 2, second gear. Then you go, oh my God, wait. Oh, I could pedal a little bit slower now and get a little bit more results. I got to get better clients. I can raise my prices. Okay, I'm there. Okay, this is gonna work, because it seems impossible. Certain things to you seem not even graspable, but the proof is that there are people that are doing it, right? So, being able to develop the discernment of what's real and what's in stable reality versus what's the conditioning and what's in your head, or what's your head trash, just because of what you experienced. It feels so real to you that it's like the Matrix, right? So you have to learn to trust sometimes other people, but watch out, you know. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. My friend, honor the fight, honor the struggle, because these are the good old days. And trust me, they're the good old days. And when you look back on these times, I bet you'll wish one thing. I bet you wish you wasn't so damn hard on yourself. I bet you wish you had a little bit more fun and you smiled a little bit more. Honor these times, because these are the good old days. Alright, I love you. I really mean that. Peace out.